seconds here for everybody to get on. This is the June 2021 makeup live stream, actually streaming on July 18th. I was going to do this a few days earlier in the month. I was already late, didn't get it done in June, but I was going to do it around the mid-month. But I did have somebody suggest I do it on the 18th, and then we'll do the next one, I believe it's next week. So then that way we get caught up on the live streams, we get to hang out twice this month. Thank you to everybody that's on right now. Looks like one person watching, one person's liked already, so appreciate that. If you're watching this back, or if you're just joining now, oh, thank you. I was about to say that, like number 2. Go ahead and give the video a like. I am doing these on Sundays because that's like the biggest requested day for them to be done. And I'm doing them at 3 p.m., both this one and the next one, because we did have somebody who requested them be earlier in the day. I'm starting to get more and more viewers from other countries, and for Europe especially, I guess when I do them at the time that I would normally do them, that means that they're pretty late at night there. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get started. If you guys have any questions or anything to say, I've got the chat up here on my computer, so I'll be trying to follow along with that as we go. I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is kind of a different format than I normally have set up, so we'll see how it goes, and I don't know, we might have to adjust it as we go too. But anyway, first of all, I do want to let you guys know, and thank you, I see everybody's starting to join now. I do want to let you guys know that I've got filmed the 6-month update for the financial goals, and I have filmed the annual update for the student loan video. And there's not much to that one, but I'll get into that in that actual video. But anyway, those are filmed, and I'm really still hoping to have those up by the end of the month. My big hurdle was yesterday. I had training for the new job, and now that that's over with, the only big hurdle I have is trying to get moved. And I know it still looks like a disaster back here, but it is actually a good bit more organized and clean in here than it normally is. So I've been putting a lot of effort into that, but I will still try to have those videos up for you. And I really still, before I want to move, or before I move, I want to get the video up about leaving the office and what all the drama was surrounding all of that. So anyway, I see that there are 3 people on right now. If you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I can start responding to those. One thing is, I know that I've been really bad about being late on stuff and even getting videos up, hence why this video is like 3 weeks late. But I'm gonna make an entirely separate video talking about why. There's a lot to it, a lot more than I could even get to in a whole live stream. So I will have to make a video about that where I can stay on topic and also edit it, so it will cut out a good bit of it and make it a bit shorter, because it's a lot. But anyway, I see we have 4 people on here now. Just waiting on comments and questions to roll in. Let me adjust my lighting real quick here. There we go. Maybe. I don't know, is that too bright? Not bright enough? Hey, there's the first comment. So my lighting's all messed up right now because I had to use it for something else other than filming. It actually was really convenient, but I forgot what setting was on before, so it's not where it normally is. Oh, Max says, first comment there, I'm surprised on how much you spend on haircuts. That's an easy place to save money, to just let your hair grow long. During COVID, did not get a haircut for over a year. Last year I did let it grow a little bit. Maybe not intentionally, but it was really hard to get a haircut last year. There are little gnats in my apartment, so if you see me swatting at myself, that's what's going on. But anyway, yeah, so I saw last year, I think I got a haircut in maybe April, and then the dude that cuts my hair got COVID, and so he canceled, and then he recovered, and he came back, and then his kid got sick, and so there was like a 2 to 3 month period where I didn't get a haircut. And my hair grows pretty fast, and it grows super fast during the summer. So, I mean, it was like very long. It was unmanageable. I mean, maybe I could space it out. Maybe. Like, it's not going to look good, but maybe I could. I guess nobody's really seeing me. My girlfriend doesn't care that much. So, yeah, I mean, that's like a pretty standard price for haircuts, though. At least where I'm at. $35, and then I give a $5 tip. So I do that every 4 weeks, so it's basically a monthly expense. Greg said, I've changed jobs quite a few times in the last 3 years. Do you find this interferes with your ability to get a job? I don't know. You know, I have a lot of people in the comments on my job videos saying that that's a problem, but I've never had a job tell me that that's a problem, even in like the interview process. So it could be that they're not telling me that, but it's a concern, or it could be that it's just not a concern. I'm really not sure. If I had to guess, I would say maybe it is a small concern, but I don't know. Now, in the 1 or maybe 2 times ever I've been asked about that, I always have reasons. Like, for example, if somebody would ask me now, like, hey, why haven't you worked in almost a year? I'd be like, well, I got laid off due to COVID. And that's a pretty acceptable answer. I mean, that happened to so many people, and everybody knows about it, right? And that is what happened. I got furloughed due to COVID in October, and then in March, or well, early April, that was when I was told, okay, in fact, we're not calling you back. So at that point, I was laid off. So, yeah, in my case, anytime anybody has asked about that, I've always had a complete explanation for why that happened. And thank you, whoever just liked the video. I would say, though, that you will run into the employers that are just not going to take a reasonable answer. Max says, how's the frat house coming along? Did you meet anyone from the job, or are going in largely blind? Both. So basically what happened was, back in March, I saw it posted. I interviewed twice, and the person I interviewed with was a girl who is a senior director for the fraternity, but I have known for probably 10 years. When I was a member and when I've worked for the fraternity in the past in a volunteer capacity, I've worked around and with her. I did my interviews with her, and then she hired me. And that was in either March or April. And other than 2 emails from my bosses, I've basically heard nothing since until yesterday. And yesterday was my full day of training. So I had Zoom training all day, like 10 to 6 yesterday, which that's all we get. Now we do get like a class once a month during the actual job, but we don't really get much training. It's kind of, although we have a job to do, they're more concerned about having somebody there in person that can act on National's behalf, rather than you actually having job responsibilities while you're there. I have a weekly report, I have a bi-weekly one-on-one with my supervisor, and then there's some stuff to do with the house manager, who is my subordinate. But the house manager does most of it, I really just oversee it. And there's not a whole lot that I actually do. The main part of my job is just being there. So that's what we're working on, just being there. And oh, and let me finish answering your question, and I'll get to your next one here. So those are the people I've met from the job. So I did meet my boss and his boss over Zoom yesterday, I also met the other house directors, but I mean, they're all at different universities, so I will never see these people. Um, and they did give me the president of the fraternity's email. I need to email him and introduce myself. But other than that, yeah, no, pretty much going in blind. My girlfriend even asked me 2 days ago. She's like, "Hey, so have you even been there? Like, do you know where we're going?" And I'm like, "No, I've never even been to Raleigh. Like, they sent me pictures of the place. I have the address. That's pretty much all I know." Now, just so you guys know, I don't have a date yet as to when I'm moving. They told us in the Zoom meeting yesterday, like, "Hey, if you're not moved in already, go ahead and talk to your boss and see when you can move in." And I'm like, "Wait, hold on. This doesn't even start till August 1st, and apparently there are 2 people who have already moved in." And I'm like, "Okay, my girlfriend's lease doesn't end till September 1st. We are not ready to go." So that's something that I'm going to have to work on, and I just don't know. So basically, she's got a lot of stuff she's got to figure out, and we're not the best at communicating about stuff like that, so we're working on that right now. There is also a possibility that I might not go to the fraternity thing, and I would say right now I'm planning everything as if I'm going and that I'm continuing that job. But I will say the girlfriend has some complications right now. I can't really explain them to you guys, but it would be understandable if she didn't feel comfortable with moving anymore. And, you know, I'm not sure what we're going to do in that scenario. We've been long distance before, and I don't feel like we can again, because the circumstances have changed. But I guess maybe long distance is an option if she has to stay here. The other option is that she goes, but she changes her mind day to day about that. So when it gets the day to going, I don't know if she's going or not, and that's going to be the issue. But I tried to talk to her a bit yesterday. 2 days ago, she told me she was going for sure. Yesterday, she told me she's not going at all. But it's just been back and forth, and I'm not blaming her. She's got a lot going on. There's a lot that factors into it. So I'm just trying to help her sort of sort out the things that she's afraid of, and make it so that we can go. But I don't know, part of me is like, even though this is a great opportunity for me, and I don't know what I'll do if I have to stay here. I don't know how to even line up a job. But, you know, we're getting more serious about the relationship, and I don't want to leave if she can't leave for a legitimate reason. So that is an option too. Okay, so Max said, "Is your contract for a full academic year, fall to spring, or is it just semester to semester?" Yeah, it's full academic year. It's from technically August 1st to May something. Now, if I continue next year, I'll still be able to live in the house for free all summer. Utilities and all that stuff too will be included, just like during the school year. There's also a possibility of transferring to another place. That is also an option for the girl, because if she would like to stay, if she's able to move but would like to stay closer to home, that's an option too. Because West Virginia University, where I used to work and where she used to go to school, they have an opening still. So I don't know if the fraternity would be willing to do it at this point because it's so late notice, but if I explain to them what's going on with her, maybe I'm moving to Morgantown rather than North Carolina, and that's only 2 hours away, so I don't know. And we who are about to die salute you. Cool. Starting from the first second. Hey, Colors of Avon. Hey, Colors of Avon, if you're still around, did you ever look into the Small Business Association Economic Injury Disaster Loan Advance, the second round? Because I never actually looked into that. You could always do polls to see when people would actually want to do live streams or times. Yeah, that's true. Another another great way to get viewers and possible subscribers as well, community polls. So I don't know how YouTube pushes out those polls. I know it's on the subscription, or not the subscription page, it's on the home page, but I think, well, maybe subscriptions too. I think it mostly sends it out to your subscribers, but I have seen stuff on my homepage from people that I'm like, who are you? So, I don't know. I mean, I could, if there was a way that they could like, well, I mean, I guess they could leave comments on a post. And then maybe I could get a general consensus from there of what people would be into. Not sure. Max says, thoughts on volunteering to get a job? My thoughts with going to free events to network, it does not really work. Yeah, that's been my experience too. Even job fairs. Most of these people don't have a job either. True. It's just an endless circle you're going in. Yeah. Personally, I would not volunteer to get a job. I think that can work in some cases, but I mean, you have to have the resources to be able to not work and to provide that time for free in order to do that. That'd be too much of a sacrifice for me. And also, yeah, and also there's I'm just thinking, like, when I got out of college, they really promoted this thing at my college called, was it an informational interview or something like that? Like, you would contact somebody who was in an industry that you wanted to work in, and you would just take them out to lunch or something and ask them questions, and they're like, oh, this is an amazing thing, and you'll network, and you might get a job, and you can learn all this stuff. And every single person that I reached out to for something like that completely was uninterested, unfriendly, and ghosted me. And now I realize that it's because they don't want to help anyone that's going to be competition to them. Why would they? I think it's just a really bizarre thing for our career center at our college to even promote to anybody. We Were About to Die, salute you, says standard haircut is $35 a month. Great Clips is like 10 to 15 an appointment. We don't have a Great Clips here, but I've just been going to the same guy for a few years, but what he charges is the same as the place I went to before I went there charges. I don't even know about here. Now, I do think I got my haircut at the Bully Trap in Charleston last summer, and I think it was maybe 20 to 25. Oh, I could see how that would add up if you went multiple times. Yeah, well, like last month I actually ended up going twice in the same month because I usually do every 4 weeks, but I did 3 weeks because my hair just, it's a long story. I had the trip coming up and all that stuff, and I wanted to get it done before that, and it grows super fast. And sorry guys, if you hear a weird like earthquake noise, it's because I forgot to turn Do Not Disturb on my phone, and there was something wrong with the vibration on my phone, and it just sounds terrible. So I just got a text, so if you hear that, that's what that was. Max says, I was thinking of volunteering for either police or hospital, but I can't do hospital right now because people I live with are too afraid of COVID. Okay, that's fair. And actually, I don't know if you could do the hospital because every hospital that I know of right now still won't even allow visitors for patients due to COVID, and still makes you wear a mask and everything, just as if it was still, I mean, it is still going on, but nobody acts like it's going on, but the hospitals do. So I'm not sure you'd even be able to. If you volunteered for the police, I don't know what that would be. I have heard, I know Warren, Ohio has auxiliary police, which I think are volunteer. I'm not sure, but dude, where I live, no one wants to be a cop, and they are desperate to hire people. I mean, come to Parkersburg, they give you a $10,000 sign-on bonus and $20 an hour to start to be a cop. And $20 an hour in West Virginia is like crazy money. Like, they will literally hire anyone. So, I believe it's pkbpolice.com. Check that out. Colors of Avon said, I received the SBA email to apply for second grant. I applied, but I might not get it because I have another full-time job. Time will tell. My friend got the $10,000, but she only does gig work. I need to look into that. I need to set some time, and if it's not too late, I need to set a time next week to look into this. The $10,000, if I would be able to get that, that would actually be huge for the channel as a business. The 1,000 helped a lot, but 10,000, holy crap! Like, that would be able to support me for a good number of months to continue doing this, even if it wasn't for what I'm doing with the fraternity. Max says, do you have an Amazon Prime account? I do not. I don't really spend money on anything. Well, I don't hardly use Amazon anyway. But I don't have Prime. And as far as like streaming and stuff, as far as like streaming, if you're talking about just the video service, I don't subscribe to any of those. I have HBO Max because it's free with my phone plan. My girlfriend has Netflix and Hulu. I do share HBO with her, and I'm sure if I asked, she'd probably share Netflix with me. I just don't watch TV very often. I'm just way too busy, so I don't. And I order from Amazon maybe twice a year, maybe. So there wouldn't be really a reason for me to do that. Neolithic says, I missed what your new job is going to be. Would you do a fast recap on what it will be? Yeah, so the position is called House Director. I lined it up in March. I actually start in August. And I'll be working from August to May. And I can just continue after that as long as they're happy with me. Or I can switch to another location as well. And House Director at a fraternity house. And it's basically, like I was saying, it's not much of a job. You have a bi-weekly one-on-one meeting with your boss. You have a weekly report you have to submit. There are 2 meetings a month that I have to go to with the chapter. And other than that, I have on-call hours that's like 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. But because I'm the head person in charge in this house, like, I'm basically just going to tell the guys, like, look, unless it's an absolute emergency, do not bother me. Like, email me whatever it is, text me whatever it is. If it's not an emergency, I'll get back to you the next day. But basically, I have the opportunity where I can set this up to be extremely chill, and that is the plan. Because I do want to continue working on the channel, and once I'm in sort of maybe a more stable environment, that's going to be more of a possibility to do. Plus, this is helping out the girlfriend, and we're going to figure out. She's got some things that she needs to figure out, and I think this is going to help her do that too. Colors of Avon says you can only apply through the email they sent you. I'll have to look. I was going to say, when I saw that, I was going to say I didn't get an email, but now that I think about it, I think I did. I think I just didn't read it. So I'll have to go look at that email and see. Oh, okay. Well, my girlfriend just texted me and said, when do we leave? So I guess that's a yes. Okay. She might be watching this. That might be why she just said that. I just realized that. Okay. I can see how many people are watching, but I can't see who's watching. So, yeah. Alright, yeah, so she might be watching. Anyway, so basically, that is the plan now. So I guess we got a little more info. So we're going to Raleigh. I have to wait till Monday to hear back from my boss. I basically asked him right after our meeting on Saturday. Right after our meeting, we got out a little bit early, and I was like, hey, I want to catch you before you get out of the office. I did not, but hey, he was working on a Saturday. I don't blame him for leaving. But I was like, hey, could you let me know, first of all, what is the first day you absolutely need me there? And what is the last day I could get there? Because my girlfriend, okay, I think I've explained this to you guys before, and this is probably way too complicated, so if I bore you guys, I'm sorry. My lease here ends August 31st, and my girlfriend's lease ends September 1st for some reason, so it's like a day off. But the job starts, well, technically it started yesterday for training, but the contract starts August 1st. But it says August 1st flexible. In another place it says August 1st tentative. Like I said, I found out yesterday that 2 of the guys that are hired into my position already live in the house. They've already started the job. So as far as the fraternity is concerned, they're like, yeah, we don't care. Come move in now. We'll give you free rent and utilities. Doesn't even matter you haven't started doing a job yet. I did find out as of yesterday that starting the first week of August, I do have to start doing the meetings with my supervisor, but it doesn't sound like I have to be on the property yet. So I'm waiting till Monday to hear back from him about when is the soonest I can move in and when is the latest I can move in. And that's basically what I am waiting to hear back on right now to get a solid date on when exactly I'm going. But with the text I just got from the girlfriend, it does seem a lot more like we are, in fact, going. So that's going to be good. I mean, obviously good for the relationship, good for me and her money-wise, and honestly, like, good for my sanity. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff this year. You guys could obviously tell that. And a lot of it has to do with moving and money and getting my life set up. So with this job being so chill and it paying for rent and utilities, and now with the girlfriend helping out with rent too, it's going to make my life a lot easier, which means that I can have less stress and focus more on doing this and building this into my means of supporting myself. Oh, Neolithic. Okay, you said, sorry if this is too personal, but you used to talk about your mom a lot and helping her. I wondered how she's doing and how she's handling your moving further away. She lives in assisted living. Yeah, so, no, that's totally fine. I don't mind answering that at all. So, let me answer the easiest parts of this first. So she's not actually in assisted living. She's right on the borderline of, like, what her needs are. Some places say she qualifies for assisted living, and other places say that she needs what's called skilled nursing care, which would be like what we think of as like a traditional nursing home. And the reason for it is that she's in a wheelchair, although she rarely gets in the wheelchair now. She usually just stays in her bed, but she can't transport herself between the chair and the bed. She just doesn't have like the upper body strength to do it. So because of that, and because of that one thing only, some places classify her as skilled nursing rather than assisted living. So it does mean she gets a higher level of care. It also means she has to pay a lot more a month for that. And it does restrict somewhat some of the things that she can do as far as like coming and going, like going off on her own, visiting places, things like that. So the reason that I haven't talked much about my mom, and I guess there's not really a reason, but like I'm aware of it. Basically 2016, 2017, 2018, I was super involved in my mom's court hearings and stuff. And then we got her lawyer, like her personal lawyer, took guardianship of her, and that kind of stabilized things a bit, and I could step back and live my own life a bit. That went well for about a year or so, and the problem is now that while he's still the guardian, he doesn't get paid anymore because they've liquidated her entire estate to pay for her medical care. So he still technically has to do the role of guardian, but he's not nearly as active or communicative with me or with her, because the sorry, I just saw your comment. So basically, what I'm saying is, he still has to legally perform the role, but he's not getting paid for it, so he's doing as little as possible. That's made things a little more difficult again, but Mom and our cousin who helps out is like taking care of most of that. Basically last year I didn't see Mom at all. Like, I saw her maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was mostly due to COVID, because, well, one, I was in Columbus, so I was 2 hours away from her, but then COVID started, and the first thing they did was lock down the nursing homes. Finally, by September, they did let her come outside and meet with me, and between me being in Oklahoma and then going to Philadelphia for my last work employment, I did meet with my mom for an hour or so, and I did not see my mom again until about 2 weeks ago. So between September and July, I didn't see her at all. Again, that was mostly due to COVID, although in April, I think it was, maybe May, they started allowing visitors there again. So I could have gone and visited, and I even told her I was going to try to visit. But my life has kind of been a disaster since I've been down here, which, when I do my life update video, I'll explain to you guys in more detail why. It's not that I didn't want to see my mom. That was actually on my list of goals for the time period that I was down here. It's just, I've been so upset about stuff, and there's so much stuff going on that, like, although I know I shouldn't be neglecting her, it's kind of been less of a priority. The reason that I saw her the day I did was she called me. She called me, it was the day after Christmas. She's called me a couple other times this year. We've talked a couple of times. And then she called me the day after my birthday. And I had not got back to her for like 2 weeks after that. And then near the end of June, she called me again and was like, hey, can you bring me some caffeine? Like, I'm out. She's got a bad caffeine addiction like me. So she was just like, couldn't go any further. So I went to the grocery store and got her some cases of Coke, and yeah, I brought it up to her, and we talked for about an hour. But I was going through some rough stuff, and I was just like, hey, I told her, I was like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry I haven't been visiting you. And it sucks. It really sucks, because I did the same thing with my grandpa, and I have lived with the regrets since then. It's not that my mom is like bad off in health or anything, it's just that she's in her 70s, and I don't know how long she's going to be around. But, sorry guys, I got these gnats everywhere. I don't know how long my mom's going to be around, and I don't want to miss out on time with her. But I have all these crises that keep happening in my life, and then I get upset, and then I can't function, because when you get like actually depressed, like clinical depression, sometimes getting up and taking a shower and taking out the trash might be your huge accomplishments for the day. And that's what I've been dealing with a lot this year because of the things that have happened in my life. So unfortunately, my mom gets pushed out of the way. And that's what happened with my grandpa too. My grandpa was in a nursing home for years, and 2013 came around. 2013? Yeah, 2013 was a horrible year for me, and I basically stopped going to visit him, and he died in 2015, and I had basically stopped coming to see him altogether, and it just, I feel horrible about that. And now I felt like I've learned my lesson, but then I'm also kind of doing the same thing with my mom. So to answer the other part of your question, it kind of goes along with what I was just saying. How is she handling you moving further away? Well, she hasn't said anything negative about it, but I do feel like she doesn't like it. Not in the sense that she's getting mad, but I think that she also is aware that we're not seeing each other, and we're not talking much, and we're not close, and that, she's in fairly good health, but she's old, and just because I moved for a year for this job, it doesn't mean I'm only gone for a year. I might not be coming back. And she's not able to move away from this area, so it might mean that we don't see each other much. I don't know. I have a feeling that she probably would prefer I didn't do it, but she's the kind of person who would never tell me that because she would want to basically sacrifice what she wanted for, you know, my betterment, and she would encourage me to take the job. So the best I can do is to keep talking to her and visiting her more before I leave here. And I guess I'll find out Monday when exactly I do leave here. So let me see here. Looking through the comments. We who are about to die, salute you. LOL, Mark's girlfriend is watching. So sneaky. Yeah, she may well be. I don't know. I'm gonna try to text her back here from the computer because I'm filming on my phone. Oh, speaking of phones, guys. So starting, I think it's gonna be September or October, my videos and my live streams will now be in 4K. So we're in 1080p right now, and this is streaming from an iPhone 7, the same one I've had since 2016. But this phone is dying, like literally dying. I've had it for, 5 years now. So when the iPhone comes out in the fall, I am going to get the new one. I'm going to have to finance it because I don't have the money up front to do that. But the good thing is, with the financing, there are no fees and there's no interest. So it will make my phone bill go up for 3 years or however long I choose for that payment to go on. But I should have new equipment and a phone that works, and it'll be better video quality for the channel. Let's see. Oh, Neolithic says, thanks for talking about it. I wish the best to both of you. Thank you. Yeah, that's really something that, I mean, I'm pretty open. I know I keep telling you guys I can't tell you what's going on with me right now, but for the most part, I'm pretty open. Again, we'll get into it when I make a life update video, but for those of you that are just like, okay, well, you keep telling us there's all this stuff you can't talk about. And mainly the reason that I can't talk about it is because it doesn't just involve me. Like, if there's ever something that is just me and just my story, I don't mind telling you guys at all, or anyone. Like, I'm super open. But when it involves somebody else too, it's like, I can't really, I keep saying it's not my story to tell, you know? And I can't really put it out there like that. Alright, so we got 11 people on right now. I am to the end of the comments currently, so if anybody has more questions or comments, go ahead and put those on there. And take a quick break here. Yeah, talking makes my throat a little bit scratchy. And there we go, Neolithic. Oh, I also have always wanted to know what that thing you said a long time ago. Some low-priced asset you bought that could make you a lot of money in the future. What was it? I'm dying to know. Okay, so this is another thing that I can't ask, or I can't answer exactly, but for a different reason. This isn't because it involves somebody else. It's because I'm making a video about it, and everything just keeps getting in the way of making the video. But here's what it is, essentially. Back in 2018, I got a bonus randomly from work when I was working at Lyft. And right around the same time, I had the opportunity to buy an asset that would make me a lot of money at the best, and at the very least would cost me about $3 a year if I was to lose money on it. So I went ahead and I decided to do it because basically what it was, what I was purchasing, I, for a number of circumstances, was able to purchase it at a discount, So I purchased it at 80% of its value. So if I'm calculating the return correctly, I think that's automatically a 20% return, or that's probably not the way that works. But that 20% difference between the 80% of the original cost and 100% of the original cost, I would make that money instantly, just because I was getting it at a discount. The other thing about it, though, is that this is an appreciating asset. So over the years, this would increase in value, and it would never decrease in value, really. The other thing about it is that I could actually do something with this asset. Because if you guys look at my situation, I don't have a lot. If let's say I inherited a house from my parents. If I just had that one thing, that one asset, well, I would make that work. I mean, I would do the work myself to clean it up. I would rent it out. I would take a portion of that income that I had coming in and build a second rental unit on the property, and then have two. Like, basically, if I ever got a step up where I just had a thing that I could hold on to that could make me money, I would make it work. But I just don't have that, and I've never had that. And I'm always struggling to get to that point where I do. And this is one of those things. It's not a house. I didn't buy a house for like $900. That's not what it was. But what I'm saying is, it's a tangible asset that I can make money with. And it's just an opportunity I've never had before. So I am going to make a video about this and explain it to you guys. But one thing I'm going to put in the video that I'll explain now is why it took so damn long. Because I just said this started in 2018, and here we are in 2021. All right, so the reason that it has taken so long is because of the lawyers. I swear. Like, I don't know how they moved so slowly with this purchase. But at one point, like 2 years ago, it was supposed to basically be done. And then the one lawyer is like, well, I want to make sure that this all gets recorded correctly, so I'm not going to let you do it, I'm just going to do it. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was just going to do it, but all right. And then he took like 9 months to do it. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, it's all done. I got all the paperwork. Everything is good. And currently where it sits, and this is not where it's going to sit indefinitely, but currently it's in the worst case scenario where it's costing me about $3 a year. Now, in the future, it will be something I can make money with, but there's some holdups right now where I'm not actually able to use it for that purpose, but at the same time, it costs me $3 a year, and it's something that will make me money in the future. So I'm not upset that it's costing me money right now. It's more because there are some things I got to plan out before I can start using it to make money. Now that you guys are asking about this, though, I should probably prioritize actually making the video explaining just what the hell's going on with all of this. It's just that if I tell you about what it is at all, it like ruins the point of making a video about it. And I'm pretty excited to make the video. If you guys like, well, not only will you find out what it is and how I'm planning to make money with it, but you'll also find out all the drama behind it, because holy crap, I have never thought about purchasing an asset and how much drama is associated with it. Not even related to me, but just like all the other owners and previous owners, and holy crap. So anyway, that's what I'm dealing with there, and I'll tell you guys that whole convoluted story. It is not a money tree. It is almost like you have to get their consent before talking about it. Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, there's a couple considerations. Like, on the one hand, sometimes something happens that makes somebody look really bad, and there's somebody that you really care about. You don't want to make them look bad. So you know? Like, for example, just to mention this, sometimes I say stuff about my girlfriend in the budget reviews, and you guys don't like the stuff that she does sometimes, right? But I'm over here like, okay, but I understand where she's coming from, right? So I don't want to put something out there that's going to be like, somebody I care about is going to get judged based on, you know, something that I have to tell you guys about, because there always is more to it that needs to factor into the consideration, that I can't always put all the details out there. That asset is like that asset in the golden box shown in Pulp Fiction, and the audience never sees it. Oh, okay, so Pulp Fiction's on HBO Max right now, and I should probably watch it because I have no idea what you're talking about. I've only watched Pulp Fiction once. I took Psychology of Film as a 300 level class when I was a senior in college, I think. That was the one and only time I've seen it. I don't remember anything about the asset or a golden box, so I'll have to look at that. Oh, and Neolithic says I definitely want to see this video. Yeah, so the way I'm basically planning on doing it, I already have the thumbnail made, but I got to shoot the actual video. Basically, I'm going to explain what the wording in the thumbnail means at the beginning of the video. And then I'm going to tell you guys what the asset is, how I bought it, how I made a positive return on the investment already because of the value of it versus what I paid. And then I'm going to explain how I'm going to make money with it in the future. And then for those who are really interested, who want to know the whole convoluted story behind it, the story literally goes back to the 1940s. That's how convoluted this is. So I literally will have to start at that point and lead you guys up to the current day as to like what this is. But yeah, like I'm really hoping, I can't guarantee it because of the move, but maybe I can have that up in August. I don't see Jennifer on the stream today. She's usually here, but I promised her last month that this month I would have the video talking about what happened in the office, and it looks like that's not going to happen, so I'm kind of getting behind on the stuff I promised people. So I got to get the video about the office up first, and then maybe I can do this one. Oh, and also that reminds me, another video that I need to have up that I've not gotten up yet, and again, I'm sorry for that, guys. One thing I really need to get up there is I gotta have my my video about my P.O. box. So let me ask you guys this. For those of you who have not been in previous streams when I've talked about my P.O. box, did you guys know that I have a P.O. box? And would you be willing to send me anything to it? It doesn't have to be like a package or anything, just be a letter, postcard. You guys let me know in the comments. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Okay. Alright, I brought something that I want to show you guys here in a minute, alright? So, well, probably saw him when I walked through. Okay, well, let's see, so... Wait, I'm lost. Oh, she danced like Uma Thurman. You're talking about the movie. I was like, what? Alright, that would be awesome to have more videos. I always enjoy your storytime type videos. Yeah, and the storytime type videos, because I have so much going on in my life, those are the ones that I have the most of that I need to make. but they're long, you know, and so it takes a long time to make them, and it takes a long time to edit them. And it's 50-50. 50% of you guys love the Storytime videos, and 50% of people hate them. If you go to the Storytime videos and look at the comments, everybody's like, you just talk too much. I'm like, well, you saw it's an hour-long video. Why did you click on it? You know? So, okay. Neolithic said, I would send a card, but I don't have much in the way of extra funds to send gifts. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So here's what I'm doing. I got the P.O. box primarily because I was living in the office and didn't have an address that I could receive mail at. But I also was like, okay, well, I wanted to eventually get a P.O. box for the YouTube channel anyway. So I'm going to perpetually have this mailbox and just use it for that purpose. And yeah, so anyway, I've got the P.O. box, and I will just go ahead and tell you guys it's P.O. Box 1505, Parkersburg, West Virginia 26102, and you guys can send me whatever you want. The idea is, I just think it's cool to receive stuff, you know, other than bills, but I will kind of collect stuff that's sent to me, both packages, postcards, letters, things like that, and I'll save them up for a little while, and then I want to start a series called Mail with Mark, where I just, like, open them up. Some of them I may have opened before, but, like, open them up and, like, read stuff on camera. Oh, and what I went to get, I wanted to show you guys. So, I don't know how well these are going to show up on camera. Let me just put them on real quick. Now, I've got my contacts in, so I literally can't even see the camera now. But these are the glasses that I got. I'm not 100% sure I'm happy with them, because I got the blue light filtering, and they do have a pretty blue tint to them. But they told me that I can switch that out, and they'll refund the $75 extra. I think I'm actually going to do that, but just wanted to see what you guys think of, like, the style of them. These are from Warby Parker. So, they look clear. They're not quite clear. They've got a little bit of a tint to them. I think it's called, like, smoke glass or something like that. Can't really tell that very well. Anyway, they look huge to me because my last glasses are from 2008 when everybody had tiny lenses like that. So, anyway, I tried to run them past the girlfriend, and she seemed okay with them. But she's also the least picky person in the world, so she would probably just like anything I picked. Oh, so Colors of Avon says, love your story times. Those people are not subbies. That's probably true. Yeah, that's true. And that's also true of the story times, because I talk a lot about finances right now, but finances aren't like my whole life. And so, like, for example, when I talk about Jimmy John's or when I talk about American Eagle, people are probably finding those videos based on the video being about that topic rather than it being like a story about me. So yeah, you're right. Probably people who subscribe to me, care about me, they care to listen to the story. And also, guys, I don't know if it distracts you, but this apartment only has a window air conditioner, and it's like right here. So there's like probably a lot of background noise in the video. It's actually getting a little chill in here, so I'm going to turn it off for right now. But yeah, I don't know how much that's going to affect the audio quality. But when it gets hot in here again in a few minutes, I might have to turn that back on. So Neolithic says, I like the style. Thank you. I just wanted to get some opinions on it. That was my favorite frame there. Like I said, I think I'm going to send them back and get the different lenses without the blue light filtering, because I don't think it really does much. And it's $75. They said they'd refund. I do need to take them to a store and get them adjusted, because with Warby Parker, they just mail them to you. But when I get to Raleigh, they've got a Warby Parker store there, so I'm having them do the adjustment there. We who are about to die salute you. Says new glasses. Yep. And those are my first new glasses in 14 years. Yeah, American healthcare system. Um, and let's see, Nikita. Oh, okay, Nikita says nice, cool. Um, I'm just happy you can see like you were supposed to. Yeah, so you know what's weird is I partly got this eye exam because I could have sworn that my vision had gotten terrible. And then I did both a contact exam and a regular lens exam. And my contact prescription is exactly the same. Um, but the contact prescription was exactly the same as it was from 5 years ago when I got my last exam. So I don't know. But the glasses, that prescription was from 2008. So these glasses I definitely can see better in. Neolithic says, yeah, I found your channel from the Jimmy John video, I think. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I know when I make a video about stuff that people know about, or, sorry, this lighting's driving me crazy. When I make a video about something that people like know about, obviously that's gonna drive more traffic than, you know, I can make a video called Life Update and everybody's like, who are you? Why do I care? But if I make a video called How I Got Fired from Abercrombie and Fitch, people are like, oh, okay. So yeah, kind of that. And those videos are coming, guys, like the Whole Foods video. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, I actually mentioned you earlier. I think you mentioned last time that we were gonna do 3 p.m. live streams. So this is the June makeup live stream, and the next week is the July live stream. And I did both of them at 3 p.m. so that hopefully you could get here for them. So if you scroll through the comments in the chat, you should be able to see what we've been talking about. Basically, yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, we've been talking about quite a few different things, but it's mostly me just answering people's questions. And feel free. Perfect time. I was just late. Sorry. No, hey, it's cool. It's cool. You know how erratic I am about. I was like 2 or 3 weeks late getting this video done, so you're good. Okay, so Colors of Avon said audio is much better with the fan off. Okay, I figured it was picking it up. I do also have a ceiling fan, so when it starts getting hot in here again, I'll probably do that. But I was actually just telling my girlfriend that the other day, because I always go over to her place and she's literally never been here. And she asked me finally the other day, like, you know, something about it. And I was like, yeah, the reason I don't invite you over is I hate this apartment. Like, it's so loud in here from the highway. And like heating and cooling wise, it just is not sufficient. It's freezing in here in the winter. It's burning up in here in the summer. So yeah. So anyway, guys, yeah, if it gets hot again, I'll just turn the ceiling fan on, and that shouldn't pick up much on the audio. Okay, so that's 2 people saying that the fan was loud, so we'll do that. Yeah, and so like basically what I'm doing, Jennifer, just to reiterate for you, this is the June makeup live stream because I didn't have that done, and then the July live stream will be the same time next week. So Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, we'll do this. So this is kind of the makeup one, and then next week will be the one where we all just hang out, get caught up. It'll only be like a week of new content, so hopefully you guys will still have questions for me. But I know I'm going to jinx myself if I promise this, but between now and next week, I should have the 6-month update to the financial goals and the annual student loan debt video up. So you guys will have a little more content. And if you have questions about that, then we can go ahead and talk about it in next week's video. And if next week's video ends up being short, that's okay too. But anyway, oh, Jennifer says, I have plenty of questions. We'll save most for next week. Okay, that's fair. We'll do Sunday next week at 3 p.m. We're only an hour in right now. Sometimes we go 2 hours, so if you want to ask any of your questions today, feel free. Um, in Sweden, it is 9 p.m. Sweden time. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So, okay. Hold off your questions so you don't ask questions already answered. Okay. Well, that's fair. And I mean, if you do answer something, or if you do ask something I already answered, I can either give you a brief overview, or I can just say, hey, when this uploads later, um, you know, the answer's in there. That's the other thing too, guys. For some reason with these live streams, YouTube takes forever to upload them. Basically, after this ends, it starts immediately uploading and processing the video, and sometimes it takes like a day or two to do that. Okay, so We Who Are About to Die salute you says, well, now 10 p.m. Sweden time. Oh, Jennifer, before I get to God, I embarrassed myself, and before I get to your question here, I did something really stupid involving Sweden. So I went to IKEA, which in the US is basically the only Swedish thing that anybody knows. And I was in Columbus because I had a doctor's appointment and I was doing a couple other things. But I wanted to check to see if they had a bed in stock, because my bed literally is like broken and I've been sleeping on the futon. But when I get moved, I want to get a new bed. And I thought it'd just be easier if I buy it ahead of time and take it with me. So I went to IKEA and was looking for this bed, and when I left, they have like a little snack shop and like Swedish grocery store in the front of it, and I just wanted something to eat. So I bought like a bag of like gooseberry gummies, and then they didn't have much to drink. It was like Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, or pear cider. And I was like, oh, I've never had that, but I'll try it. So I get my pear cider and I leave, and I'm driving home down the highway, and I happen to look at the pear cider, and I'm like, it says like alcohol 0.01%. I was like, oh, shit, okay. Because, well, first of all, like, I don't drink, and it's not like the worst thing in the world if I accidentally drink something alcoholic, but like, in America, we have pretty strict laws about drinking and driving, and also having an open container in the car. I did not understand that pear cider had alcohol in it, because I'm familiar with apple cider, and apple cider can if it's fermented, but it doesn't usually. If you just call it cider, it's usually called hard cider if it has that in it. And they didn't ID me, like anything like that. Very weird. And I know it's a really low content for alcohol, but still, like, I don't know. That was just something stupid I did. So to get to your question, you said, when are you moving again? Well, basically, I don't know. I was supposed to move. My contract starts August 1st, but my training started yesterday, and I don't have any more training. I'm just basically going to be there at some point. I've emailed my boss, and I assume he's going to get back to me Monday, telling me the earliest I can move in and the latest I can move in. And then while I was doing the stream, the girlfriend texted me and asked me when we're moving. So that's, for some reason, I'm not able to reply to her from my computer on iMessage. So I'm going to have to wait until the stream's over to reply. But basically, whatever I find out Tuesday, and this actually works out a little bit better. I think that oh wow, okay. Nope. Never mind, it's not gonna let me reply from the computer. But yeah, basically what's gonna happen is originally what was gonna happen is, because of the differences in when our leases end, she was going to stay here for about a month after I moved. And then I was gonna fly back and drive down with her. So it looks like now we're just going at the same time, which makes everything so much easier. My estimate is that it'll be sometime in August, and the further down the road in August I can push it, the better. Now, I do have to be, whenever NC State moves in, I have to be there for that. My boss is probably going to tell me earlier, but definitely by that point. And I'm also going to have to go early enough that I can get the place cleaned, because the chapter president was living in it this spring, and they sent me pictures and stuff, and it kind of looked kind of dirty. So I want to make sure I can do a deep clean, which probably means I'm also going to have to hire some cleaners to help with that. So hiring cleaners, doing an extra deep and thorough clean for myself to make it nice for the girlfriend, moving the furniture, setting it up, getting her moved in, and getting all that done before the guys move in, and then I have to start doing my real job. So I don't know. I'm gonna say somewhere around August 15th, but I have no actual idea. So things are gonna be moving very quickly in the next 2 to 4 weeks on that. Neolithic said, if you could have any job and not have to worry about paying or training or education, what would it be? Anything you wish you pursued? Not really anything I wish I pursued. I've become pretty disillusioned with traditional jobs and employers and that sort of thing, working for other people. What I would like to do, I would like to do this full time. Not just what I do now, but I've told you guys that I'm interested in doing financial coaching and financial education, and that is something that I'm still planning on developing over the next year. I'll actually be creating a separate channel, because this channel this is my personal channel, and I talk about my debt payoff journey, but as people ask me questions and as I help them, I'm gonna create a second channel where I tell people what to do. Because if you guys notice, I'm not preachy about the money stuff. I just do my own thing and I say this is what I do. But if people ask for my help, I will tell them what to do. And that's going to be the focus of the other channel. And that's where it's going to develop into a coaching method. So that's what I'd really like to do. Now that said, there's other jobs that I think would be cool. I actually think it'd be really cool to be like a national park ranger. I went to Yellowstone last summer. I actually think that would be cool. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it, since I'm not really thinking at all about what I would want to do. My girlfriend recently told me that she'd like to go back to school for respiratory therapy. I didn't even know what that was, and I looked into it, and I told her, I was like, actually, that actually seems pretty cool. Personally, I wouldn't like that work, but that actually sounds like a really good setup for her. So, I guess I don't know how to answer that question exactly. So Colors of Avon says, I'm slowly chipping away at my student loans because of the $0 interest, $29,000 left. Do you think they will extend it? I don't know. I'm not counting on it. In my own personal situation, I'm not worried too much because I won't have to pay anything. My income is going to be $800 a month once I take this new job. So yes, I get housing and utilities for free and internet. But of course that's not counted as income. So it's going to show I make $800 a month. And that's going to mean that I don't have to make my federal loan payments. I'll have a $0 income-based payment. As far as if they'll extend it, I'm not counting on it. Maybe, and maybe there will be some sort of forgiveness or something, but I'm not counting on it. And I'm still counting on the 25 year, whatever you don't pay after 25 years will be forgiven anyhow. Because I'm 9 years into 25 years, and I've made absolutely no progress toward my federal loans. They just keep building and building and building. And there's one of them in particular that it's calculated that I'll pay like $175,000 in interest on before it's paid off, which literally is never going to happen because I'll never pay that, right? Because it's going to be, what is it, 2045 or 2047? My loans will be forgiven. Jennifer says, what is a park ranger? So, I guess it depends kind of what the park is, but I was thinking about the national park system. A park ranger can be several different things. Usually it's kind of like the law enforcement type of person for the park, although they don't always do law enforcement. I think some of them do, but other park rangers, they can be tour guides, they can work, I'm not even sure, they do various jobs in the park. I think I would just like working in the national parks and being outdoors, and not so much the law enforcement aspect of it. I think I would hate that part, but also, like, when I lived in Columbus, Ohio, we had the Franklin County Metro Parks, which are kind of like national parks, but on a smaller scale. It's the city's metro, not all the parks, but just their metropolitan park. And so, yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm not very good at explaining what the park ranger would be. When I was at the national park, I just thought it was cool. I saw them there. I thought it'd be a cool job. Jennifer says, how are you now? You mentioned last time you've been struggling with your mental health. And yeah, I'm not sure that that's better. I mean, you guys maybe have seen a little bit of an improvement because I got I did get my budget review and my budget with me out, and I'm working on getting the other 2 videos for this month out. Catching up with the June live stream now, and then we'll do July live stream. So that stuff is getting back on track. I've made some progress in getting stuff cleaned up and some things done in the apartment and getting prepared to move. Unfortunately, mentally, I am still pretty stressed. I'm having a lot of trouble sleeping too, which is not helping it. And I'm getting more stressed because of the move. Some inconsistencies, like I mentioned earlier, about the girlfriend and whether she's going or not. And then she texted me later here in the stream and just asked me when we're leaving, so it sounds like we are going. But there's been she has a lot of concerns that weren't there when she originally agreed to go, and now they are. I'm trying to work through those with her, but her mom doesn't want her to go. And I wish I would have known that months ago. But I think maybe her mom just didn't think she was serious about going, and now that it's about the time that we're leaving, she's trying to get her not to go. And then on top of that, there's just a lot of stuff that has happened this year with her and with me, and I don't know. I guess if we end up going to Raleigh, and I know she wants to work on stuff with us, I think if both of those things happen, I'll be in a fairly good place. There's a lot of work to be done. I'd say several years worth of work to get my life and her life and our relationship and living situation and money and everything under control. But, maybe if those 2 things happen, I think maybe it's heading in the right direction. And those things are affecting my mental health. Not just her, but a whole bunch of other things going on in my life too. I would say my mental health is still not very good, but I'm trying. And some days it seems like things are going in the right direction, and then other days things don't go very well. So it's hard to answer that. I would have said at the beginning of the stream that things are not good. And then she texted me about half an hour ago and asked me what day we're leaving. So then it's okay, things are good again. So it's kind of I have to just see how things go and see if we can consistently make progress on making things good, rather than going back and forth. Um, Neolithic says, be careful with income taxes. I know in Canada we are supposed to declare things that we get in place of actual income as a taxable benefit, like the use of a company car. Yeah, and I'm not sure how that works in this case. Um, I'm not sure that the company I'm working for is doing it the proper legal way. But at the same time, like, the only thing I can do is file whatever tax papers they give me. Like, for example, my taxes last year were all messed up because I worked in like 7 different states. But it was all paid as if I worked in Columbus, Ohio. I paid Columbus taxes and I filed my taxes in Ohio. Whereas I was working in Mississippi, Idaho, all these different places. But even though I knew that that wasn't correct, the only thing I could do was file. There's a fly in here. The only thing I could do was file the form that I was given by the company. So I feel like it's going to be a similar situation with this. Now, I have worked in real estate before where they can give you up to a 20% discount on your apartment. And if anything is over 20%, they do have to give you a 1099 tax form showing that you were provided this value of a discount. And yeah, because it accounts for it on their end and it accounts for it on your end for taxes. This is different. This, I feel like, is similar to when I worked at Lyft, where they pay you and you're categorized as an independent contractor, but they don't refer to you or treat you as a contractor. They actually, they even told us yesterday, like, you are employed by the fraternity. They're talking about our relationship as an employment relationship, not as a contractor relationship. But they do pay us as contractors. We're 1099. That's somewhat beneficial, even though the taxes are higher. It's somewhat beneficial because I actually get to write off a lot of costs that I have that I wouldn't be able to do if it was W-2 income. But at the same time, yeah, it's possible that they could be considering the free housing as part of the compensation, but they've never said that they do that. And it's different than that 20% rule that I've seen otherwise when I've worked in real estate and property management. So I think the way they're doing it, although it's not proper and it's not being accounted for, I think that they're just letting me stay there and that's it. Like, I think that they're not counting it toward my income. Oh, I don't know if that applied to your free internet and room. Okay, yeah, and yeah, I didn't see that part of your comment before I said all that. I'm not sure if that applies either. Jennifer says she's an adult, her mom cannot decide for her. That is somewhat true, although, like, culturally I'm Appalachian. It's Appalachian American is the term. So it's an ethnic group, and it is more likely in our ethnic group that, like, lifelong, your parents are more so in control of you and more so a part of decisions that are being made. I won't say it's that way for everyone or always, but I can say it's true of my parents, and I can say it's true of her parents. Her mom has a lot more control over her than mine does over me, but even my friends who are from outside this area look at my mom's influence on me and think that that's a lot. The thing is, her mom, my girlfriend's mom, she does not particularly like me, and it's also like, I kind of get where she's coming from, like, her son's moved away, now her daughter's moving away. I kind of get it. It's not right, but, like, I kind of get it. Um, Jennifer says the girlfriend seems kind of flaky. You. Must be on you to do the right thing. I hope she treats you well, and it is just circumstances that is making her go back and forth in her decision making. I wish the best for both of you. Yeah, it is. It. This is one of those things where I say like it's not my story to tell. I would not put up with this if there wasn't a reason for it. Um, but I do understand that there are reasons for it. She's gone through a lot, and this year has been especially hard on both of us. And some days she has bad days, and some days she has really good days, and some are just okay. And she does go back and forth a lot, but it's like kind of when things are bad, they're not coming from a bad place. Like they're coming from a place of being hurt and traumatized and scared. So it's not malicious, is what I'm saying. Even though the outcome of it is not great, I understand what she's going through and how what she's going through could make her act unpredictably like that. So, and this isn't a forever thing. Part of her going is to get her into a good environment where she can work on making her life better and more stable. And that will make things better between us. Max says, any thoughts on Shane Hummus, a newer popular YouTube who basically states trust the college system. It does not acknowledge the many things that can go wrong. Well, I don't know. I've never heard of that person. I'm actually looking them up right now. I'm not sure what trust the college system would even mean. Is that just trusting that you go to college and you'll get a good job and I see his channel is called the Success GPS. I see that he just blatantly states young people are really bad at personal finance. I don't think that's a blanket term you can apply to people. Oh, so he's called a college advice YouTuber. I don't know. I'll have to look into that more. This is the first time I've heard of him. The one thing that I will say, just to kind of give you guys an idea of some of the more types of topics that I'm going to come up with later, it looks like something similar to like what he's talking about. There's a lot of advice out there for college, and as somebody who has graduated college and did really well in college, but then what you're supposed to get out of college, like a job and a good life, I didn't get that, and now I'm dealing with all the student loans and stuff. I think I'm a pretty good person to talk about this topic, but I want to make a video talking about why you should not go to community college, because it's just like 100% of the time the advice is community college is an amazing idea, but I actually went and it messed me up more than anything. So I actually do want to make a video out there, not to be negative, but just to show the other side of the story. It is like, hey, this was my experience. Going to community college actually did this, and this for me that was negative. And you need to be aware that if you decide to go there rather than a university, this is a risk that you're going to run, and you should have both sides of the story. So I don't know, that might be sort of drifting more toward the territory of what that guy's doing. He probably wouldn't agree with me, but that's okay. Colors of Avon says, how was your vacation? What did you guys do? This is one of those moments where I'm like, okay, please don't be so mad at her. Please don't. Okay, so we did not go. We were supposed to get back a week ago today. Originally what happened was we were supposed to leave on the 6th, I think. I think it was the 6th of July. So on the 4th of July, she was in kind of a bad mood. Um, but, just she'd worked and she just didn't feel like wanting to go see the fireworks, and that's fine. Um, and so what happened was, we talked as normal. I went to pick her up for our trip, and she said, "Hey, hang on, I'm not feeling very good." And she was having a couple different issues, and I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Well, hey, I gotta have my mom come over. She's gonna check on me, and then we'll see. Like, we'll be running a little bit late, but we'll go." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, cool." Um, so I wait around, wait around. I think she fell asleep, and I didn't hear from her until later in the day. And I was like, "Hey, are we still going?" And she's like, "Well, I can't right now." She's like, my aunt is a nurse, and she said that, like, I need to just make sure that I'm okay tonight. Like, you know, we can go in the morning. And I'm like, "Okay, all right, you're sick. Like, yeah, we'll go the next day." Um, and then the next day, I come to pick her up, and she's just like, I can't. She's like, I just can't go. Um, and I still have not gotten a full explanation about that, although I know that she's going to tell me. We've been talking about it. There's, I do know what's going on, though, and this is what I was talking about a few minutes ago. This is not a malicious thing. This is I think she got scared. Um, she doesn't travel much. She has agoraphobia. It was a big deal for her to go out of the house and do something, period, let alone leave for a week. And even though it was a trip she really wanted and it was her birthday present, she just, yeah. So anyway, I was disappointed. We kind of had a fight about it, but we're working on that right now. I was able to get everything refunded except for the Airbnb. Now, when we talk about it, I'm going to tell her she has to pay me back for the Airbnb. Um, because, at every point I could have gotten a refund, she did tell me, like, "Oh, in fact, she is going. Yes, definitely." So I'm going to make her pay me back for that. But the rental car, that was refunded, including the free days that I was using to get it. The hotel, even though the hotel was not supposed to give me a refund and they were supposed to charge me a fee on top of that for canceling so soon before check-in, they actually didn't do any of that, and they just refunded it entirely. And I got what I paid plus the free nights certificates that I had saved up back, so I didn't lose any money there. Um, I had a tour planned, um, and, like, I'm out that money, but that wasn't very much. So basically, that tour plus the Airbnb, I'm gonna make her pay me back for. So I'm really just out the time, and I'm pretty disappointed. And we're not gonna be able to plan that trip or go there again because there's a lot of different reasons, which I won't get into in depth because I know you guys don't care that much. But basically, circumstances with me and her and that college and COVID and a bunch of other stuff are about to change, which is gonna make it where we live too far away to go there again. And also, um, and then on top of that, the like, it's just gonna start being much more expensive. It was cheaper to do right now because of COVID, so we're not gonna be able to do that trip again. Um, my plan is hopefully to take smaller trips with her, to get her a little more accustomed to it. So I live about 45 minutes from Ohio University, OU, and I'm gonna see if she'll take a day trip with me there, just to get her out of the house and get her, more accustomed to something like that before we take a big trip. Sorry guys, I got behind on the comments here. Oh, yeah, so that's Colors of Avon. That was in response to you. Jennifer says, I hope she and her mom sees how much you care for her and that you do everything to take care of her. I do think that she sees that. I'm not sure about her mom. I'm hoping that she can convince her mom of that too. Um, and Neolithic says, what is your favorite fast food restaurant and items? Chipotle, for sure. Now, we do not have a Chipotle here. The closest one is an hour away, but they're building one, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be done before I move. But we're moving to Raleigh, which will have a Chipotle, so that's fine. But I get the same thing every time. I just love it so much that I don't even try anything else. But I get a steak bowl with brown rice, black beans, fajita vegetables, extra if they'll give me extra on those. What am I missing here? Oh, steak, yeah, obviously. And then I do the red salsa, which is the hot one, the corn salsa, and just shredded cheese. That's it. And that's a ton of food. It's only about 680 calories for that entire bowl. So it's basically good for me. It's a lot of food, and they have been raising their prices, but it's still fairly cheap. It's about $9 now for a bowl. And Jennifer says still, oh wait. Still waiting for the story time about your last landlord. I think it would be very entertaining. No stress. When you feel up for making it, I will watch. Cool. So yeah, I was actually talking earlier in the stream that I promised you that video, and I really meant to have it this month. I want to make that video here soon too. That's one of those videos you guys are going to watch and just be like, what the hell? Like, how did you even get in that situation? Because like I already told you guys, part of what's in it, I mean, I rented an office and ended up living in the headquarters of a white supremacist biker gang. Like, like what? All I wanted to do was rent an office space. How does that even happen? But like, yeah, that's what happened. I mean, that's not even like the whole point of the story. There's much more. That's just one part of it. But yes, I will really try to make that. But just be aware that that's going to be a really long video. And I'd say 45 minutes probably after it's edited. But there's more. So I actually did a walkthrough video of the office before I took everything down, and to show you guys how that worked when I lived there. So that's going to be up. And then I'm going to have the video about the story about how it all went crazy. And then I think I'm going to try to do, I'll probably do a post on the community tab for a Q&A for you guys to ask questions about the office and how that worked and stuff like that. There's not a lot of videos on YouTube about living in offices, so I figured if I can make those videos and cover all sides of it, then that'd be pretty good. Oh, Jennifer says, I feel for your girlfriend with the agoraphobia. Cannot be easy. Yeah, so the thing is, the whole time I've known her for 9 years, and she's been super outgoing, right? Like, she's always been, yeah, popular girl in high school, and she was super outgoing in college, and her job is like super outgoing. She's a server at a restaurant. But she had some stuff that happened to her last year that really messed her up, and because of that, she stopped like doing anything social, and she stopped really leaving her apartment for the most part. And then there was more that happened this year, to the point where it's not just she doesn't leave, she's, you know, she's just uncomfortable all the time. And so that's something that we're fighting a lot. You know, and I just try to make her as comfortable as I can, which she is mostly comfortable with me, but it's really hard for her. She's dealing with a lot, and I don't think that she knows where to start in dealing with all the things that are stressing her out. Colors of Avon, I saw your comment when it came in. As your friend, if one of us made videos about having a girlfriend like yours, what would your advice be to us? I mean, I know, I know what you're alluding to. I try not to give people advice unless, unless they asked for it. That's like why I said earlier with the money stuff. Like, I just tell people what I do, and unless they ask, I don't like tell people what to do with their money. But, and I'm not saying in any way you're doing this with me. I'm just saying that, like, with you asking what would your advice be, I probably wouldn't say anything, but I think there's more than meets the eye. Like, yeah, this is a lot to deal with, but like, I also understand why. And because I realize the reason and the intention behind it, it's okay, even though it's a lot to deal with. I understand why it's happening, and I just want to be like part of, part of fixing that for her, and helping, fix us in the process. John B says, "Where were you going to be?" So we were going to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and specifically to the University of Michigan. Huge Michigan fan, which you guys might think is weird because we live right on the border of Ohio, and Ohio State and Michigan are big rivals. But she's a huge Michigan fan, has been her whole life, and has never been to Ann Arbor. So it's only a 5-hour drive from here. And we've been talking for about a year and a half about making that happen. And I did a lot of planning to make it super special for her. We're gonna go do a lot of things around campus. We were gonna be there for like 3 days, and then we were gonna go over to Detroit for a couple days. And then after Detroit, we were gonna come back the day before her birthday, and then she wanted to do something for her birthday too. Now, the week after, so it would have been just 2 days ago, I was actually going to ask her to go see Space Jam when it came out, but she was feeling sick again, so we weren't able to go to see it in person. But it also simultaneously came out on HBO Max, so I think I'm just letting her use my account so she can watch it on there. But yeah, so basically Michigan is where we're going. Jennifer says, "I don't think any of us should judge a person we don't know, and we do not know the circumstances. Most important thing is love and mutual respect and caring for one another." Yeah, that's it. Like, there's a lot of background that I couldn't tell you guys. Obviously, it's like way too private, and I can't talk about like her personal life on here. But I keep saying, like, I get why she acts the way she does, and I get where she's coming from, and that's what I mean by that. Like, there's a lot of underlying stuff that I understand why what's happening is happening, and that's why I'm not taking it personally. I'm realizing what it's coming from, so to me, it's not as bad as it seems to other people who are seeing it from the outside. Jennifer says, "I think your girlfriend takes care of you as well and is there for you, right?" Yeah, she is. She's like, she's always there for me to talk to, and she supports me in what I do. She's doing something really big right now, despite her fear. She's coming to Raleigh with me, and moving in with me, and that's huge. So she absolutely does, and I think that that's something that we're going to get better at over time. She's not a relationship type person, really, but she is kind of with me, and it's not easy for her, I think, to let somebody else be a part of her life, but she's trying. Oh, and Jennifer says, "Love the long videos, looking forward to it." Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been able to make one. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. It might take me a little bit longer because I'm trying. I have some little snippets of video that I took in the office of just weird stuff that went on in there that I'm gonna try to like splice in as well. Colors of Avon says LOL. Jennifer says, if it is too personal, don't answer. Why does her mom not like you? Is it just because her daughter might be moving, or are there other reasons? I would have been delighted if my kid had such a nice boyfriend. I think that's mostly it. Um, I, I'm not sure. Like, I actually didn't even know her mom didn't like me until this year. Um, and it's like, I don't dislike her mom. And every time I've seen her mom, like, we get along fine. So I had no idea she didn't like me. But yeah, I think that's what it is. Because I think I said earlier in the stream that, like, basically her, how do I say this? I think maybe her mom didn't take it very seriously at first when she told her she was moving with me. But now that it's like pretty much at the deadline of like we have to move like pretty soon now, I think she might be like, oh, this is actually happening. Okay. Because there have been a couple times before, like last year, that she and I were supposed to move in together, and kind of at the last minute, her mom was like, no. Like, for whatever reason. It wasn't just she straight up told her, like, no, you can't move. But there was always like a reason that her mom would bring up. Um, Jennifer, I saw your message. That's funny. Um, but just you know, I think that her mom basically just doesn't want to lose her. That wasn't weird. I appreciate that. But no, she just like. Um, yeah, and I don't know, Colors of Avon, I don't know if she's watching the whole thing or not. She might have just popped in. Um, but yeah, so basically what happened was, I think with her, okay, so here's the deal. Her brother moved away, right? Her brother lives with his girlfriend in another state, and she's the only one left. Like, it's just mom and the grandma. And I just think, I don't know. I feel like she's the last one left in the nest, and her mom probably, was wanting to get rid of her. But now that it comes to the time that it's like, oh, she's actually leaving, she doesn't want that to happen. I think it's something like that. Oh, and then yeah, Jennifer made her bath comment. All right. And then Colors of Avon said, I forgot that she's watching this too. It's great that you guys have respect and trust each other. What are the plans at the fraternity? So I don't know. Well, let me ask you this to answer your question. When you say what are the plans of the fraternity, do you mean as far as just like what my job will be, or as far as her moving in there with me? While you answer that, I'm going to grab something else. Okay, I'm back. So, oh, okay, I don't see an answer yet. So I was just asking Colors of Avon, when you say what are plans at the fraternity, do you mean, oh, here we go. I mean, what are you going to do while on campus since you will have a ton? You will have a lot of downtime, no actual job duties. What is your plan for those months? Oh, okay. So, basically, yeah. So I haven't mentioned it in this stream, but this job is supposed to only be 10 hours a month, or 10 hours a week. Um, so I should have 30 hours a week free. And those 30 hours should be working on this channel and also building that new channel for coaching, hopefully, as long as nothing goes disastrously wrong like it has since I've been back here. What I'm hoping to do, so I'm going to be on campus and I'm going to be working a lot. The girlfriend will probably be working a lot, and a lot of this is me supporting her. Because with me and her being down there, like, I do have to step up. Like, I'm gonna have to take her to her doctor's appointments and things like that. So there's gonna be kind of like more stuff to do relationship wise than what I do right now. And so that's gonna be part of it. Now, there is a week in August and then again a week in May where I'll probably do 40 hours for the fraternity because it's move in and move out, so those would be big deals. But other than those weeks, I should only be working 10 hours a week. And what I'm planning on doing is getting my life stabilized. All this stuff, which you guys can't really see, but getting stuff sorted through, sold off on like Facebook Marketplace, liquidated, donating stuff, basically trying to like minimalize my life and organize things and just get things some semblance of together. I made some very small progress toward that here, but like not a lot. I want that to continue once I'm down there because I think that being there in that environment and with her is going to provide me a sense of stability, and that's going to be really helpful to me. On top of that, I am hoping once I'm in a city, and it's a city that happens to be warm. So even though I'm moving in August, which here in West Virginia in August, it starts to get cold again. But down there, it doesn't get cold until November or December. So it buys me a few more extra months of summer, and hopefully I can get out and run. I'll be on campus. Hopefully I have access to the gym. I'm not sure if I do. I'm actually not sure if I do at all, but I do have access to the library on campus. So I should have access to the gym. Basically, I just want to get my life more together, and that's partly getting myself more in shape too. And spending time working on my mental health too, and spending time with her working on our relationship. Just all around, just taking the time to, I guess, make things better in my life. Jaegerbomb says, what's on the whiteboard? So, that whiteboard I got for free from my old office in Columbus. If you notice, the side of it's all busted up, and that's why they were going to throw it away. On the right side are some video ideas. Those are actually from like 2017, so probably none of those will actually happen. On the left in the purple is I'm tracking my unemployment income. I'm making sure that I get paid out everything that I was supposed to get paid out. There's like 1 week that's kind of like weird, and I'm trying to track it down. And this is only updated as of April, so I've got a lot of catching up to do on this too. But that's all that's on there. I just got a free whiteboard, and I use it sometimes to keep track of stuff. Jennifer says, what would your advice be for someone who struggles with their mental health, but have like 3 different job obligations full-time? How to get energy again? Asking for a friend. All right, so that's tough with the jobs because like when you're working, and obviously like you're working because you need money, you have to you have to do that, right? Like even if you're in the worst state of mind, you need the money, so you have to go to work. And you're not able to take the time off that you need in order to work on your mental health or to rest. Like yeah, it's a pretty tough situation because you basically have to do the opposite of what you need to do. Um, so my advice, you're asking how to get energy again. Well, this is easier said than done, and it's the thing that I've been working years on for myself, but it would be to find a way to reduce the workload. Um, and obviously you could do that in a number of ways. Making um, making more money at certain jobs, or like replacing one of the jobs with another job where you'd make more, that would make it easier. Maybe you could drop one, like maybe if you have 3 jobs and you start making more money at one of them, then you could drop one of the other 2 jobs and only work 2 jobs, and therefore have less stress because you have a little more free time and you're working a little less. But I mean, that's not always possible, of course. But like another thing, and again, this is not like something you can just go right out and do, but gradually over time is to build yourself passive income stream so that you can get to the point where you're not stressed about money and you're not stressed about work. And you don't have the stress of working for other people. This is what the girlfriend and I have been talking about. My family comes from real estate background, and so does her family. Her aunt and uncle flip houses, and she really wants to get into that. And she says that they're happy and carefree, and that's what she wants to be too. And same here. I think after you've dealt with a lot of trauma and stress your whole life, you get to the point where you just want to have stability and comfort, and you want to work a type of job where you're happy. And I think that that's an example of something you could do like that, to eventually get yourself to a point where you're not worried about that. And unfortunately, like all these things I'm telling you are more long term, and even me myself, I'm working for years to try to get it to that point. But in my mind, when I think about I'm stressed out, I need to take time for my mental health, what do I need to do? Well, it's always, I need to not be working so much. I need to not be worrying about money. So I'm wondering, Jennifer, what type of work do you do? Maybe I can brainstorm with you and see what we could do. Neolithic, take a bubble bath. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I can just, I don't know. Maybe I make some videos for you so you can have your bath time, and then that way you can have stress relief. Jaegerbomb says, many in West Virginia turn to a different source of energy. Yeah, meth, I'm guessing. Or, well, let's say either meth or oxy or heroin. Yeah, West Virginia's got a lot of drug problems. Like a lot of drug problems. So, yeah, that's something that that is very true. If you guys have seen the documentary Heroin, that's about here, and also Oceana, which is about Oceana, West Virginia. I'm sure there's more, but those are the drug documentaries I know about here. Our city here actually just passed a law this past week. We have so many drug rehab centers in the city that like the city finally just passed a law that they can't open anymore. because it's like we have the drug epidemic, but then we have like the epidemic of treatment centers because there's so much demand for treatment that they've opened so many of them. Um, oh, Jägerbaum says all of the above. Yeah, yeah, drugs are a huge problem here. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, so we're at 115 minutes, so we're approaching 2 hours. Let me know if you guys have any other comments or questions, and I will try. Oh, Jennifer's here, and I'll try to get answers to these. Word. Definitely have a plan for future passive income. I work in an office full time. Work as manager at a gym. Full time student. I have 2 own company, not making any money yet, and oh, fitness trainer. Okay, okay. I see potential here. I don't think I actually need to work this much. Yeah, I mean, you might be overdoing it just a little bit, but that's ambitious, so that's good. Okay, so you like in your position, so you're working in an office full time, working as manager at a gym. Yeah, okay, but I'm scared because I don't know the future. Yeah, that's legit. I mean, I get that. Like, you're trying to kind of build a safety net. Um, so here's what I would do if I were you. You're working in the office full time. You're working as a manager at a gym. You're a full-time student. And I think you're saying you have 2 different companies that you own, and you're a fitness trainer. So the biggest potential thing that I see here is being a trainer. I assume it works the same there as it works here, but that's a skilled position. You have a skill that you can get people to pay for. And a lot of trainers here have like a fitness Instagram account where, you know, they kind of do like gym videos on Reels and like Instagram type of modeling. You eventually can, you know, sell, say like Gymshark, right? I think they're out of the UK. Like, oh, holy crap. Oh, thank you, Ash Adventures. Oh, awesome. Hey, you know what? I'll do that. I do not have any alcohol in the house right now, but I do have Diet Pepsi. So we will do that. So thank you for the $4.99. Do that right now. All right. Thank you, Ash Adventures. I need the caffeine. Yeah, so Jennifer, I think that you should really play up your fitness training. I think that that's something that you can really build into a career and a steady income that's kind of unlimited, but also a way that you'd be able to work just for yourself. So I see that you're working in an office full time, and I assume that's not your like long-term goal. So maybe as you build up your income as the fitness trainer, then you could decrease your hours there. And I see that you work as a manager at the gym. That gives you more credibility and experience for being the trainer. And what are you studying in school? Because you're going to school full time. Honestly, if I went to school full time, that'd be enough for me. I went to school part time, technically. It was like 12 hours, but I was taking 300 and 400 level classes when I was in school, plus working 20 to 25 hours a week, and I had no time to myself. So I definitely think mental health wise, you might be overdoing it, maybe a good bit overdoing it. So I think that you'll be able to cut some of this out, but I would start by really putting more time into the fitness training thing. I have some ideas for you. Like I said, Instagram is probably going to be a big one to start out at, and then you'll be able to start sort of gaining a following and but also finding some more coaching clients through that. And I'm interested, you said you have the 2 companies too. I'm interested in finding out what those are. Yeah, Neolithic says you will burn out working that much. You sound like you are spread too thin, Jennifer. Yeah, I'd agree with that too. I think, yeah. Can you study at your day job and manage companies from the gym front desk? It's a good idea. Jaegerbombs said that. That's for you, Jennifer. Yeah, if you can multitask like that, absolutely. That would be a way for you to sort of do all the same amount of work, but do it in less time. Jennifer says, okay, I will give it a shot. The market is very saturated for trainers, though. But I'm thinking about having a niche in training people with disabilities. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you're located, like if you're in a big city or not, and what the market is for, you know, how many people you'd have that would have disabilities in your area. But you could definitely do that. Of course, I know Sweden's going to be different than the US, but like my mom's in a nursing home in Ohio, and they have a gym. And every nursing home I've ever seen has a gym in it, or like a physical therapy type room that has some fitness equipment. You could probably network with an organization or facility like that where you could be the trainer for that facility. Oh, okay, cool. One company where I help small companies with bookkeeping. Okay, so that's another skill you have, and that's something else you can develop into a way of making income above like basically minimum wage, where you're getting paid better because you have a skill that people will pay for. And one company helping people with disabilities find friends and fun activities. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, actually, that could be something for everybody. Actually, not even just people with disabilities. Um, it's hard to make friends as an adult, and also, you know, depending on where you live, sometimes it is hard to find anything fun to do. Maybe you could come to West Virginia and come up with something better to do than walk around Walmart as something to do on the weekends, because that's what we have to do here. Um, yeah, so yeah, and feel free also if you want, like you can either send me like a DM on Instagram or email me, and you know we can talk more about um, you know how you could like rebalance some of that stuff you got going on. But I'm really thinking if yeah, if you went the training route, I really think that that would probably be most lucrative for you. You did say it's oversaturated. I get that, and I think I have a couple ideas maybe of how you could stand out a little bit. But yeah, you could also explore the disability aspect of that too. Oh, awesome! Hey, thank you, Jennifer. That's amazing. Um, I wow, I really appreciate that. Um, so yeah, yeah, and like I just said, you know, feel free to reach out to me, and you know, I can help you, or we can figure out what you can do. Um, but yeah, guys, so we've gone pretty long today. We're over 2 hours now. So if anybody has anything else, go ahead and drop it into the comments here in the next couple minutes. If I don't see anything within the next couple minutes, I'll kind of start wrapping up. So I'm hoping within the next week I can get those final 2 videos out to you guys. And beyond that, I will be looking at moving. Okay, so Jennifer's signing off. All right. Yep. Thanks for coming in, and definitely for the super chat. But thank you for everything. Yeah, and next week, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll all be back here again. All right. So yeah, guys, within the next week, expect those other 2 videos from me. Other than that, yep. So Jaeger bombs. I have to take it easy with the videos right now because I have those 2 that are supposed to go up in July, and I'm gonna do those. Of course, next week we'll have the live stream for July. But I think other than that, I'm just gonna do the July budget review, the August budget with me. More than likely, I will try to get a couple small videos out in August, but realistically, I do have to kind of take it easy for a little while because I'm going to be starting the new job, I'm going to be moving, helping the girlfriend move. That's going to be a lot. So maybe in September, I'll be able to get back into posting some stuff, but I am hoping to get the video about the office and all that drama up before September. So I guess we can say that that's the big one that's coming. And the life update video about everything that's gone wrong with me since I've been here, like the last 9 months or so. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I would say I gotta be super tentative about announcing any timeline for those videos, but for the most part, yeah, we'll be good. I will. Oh wait. Oh, Neolithic says, I have a confession. A long time ago, I made a jerky comment on one of your videos, and I think you blocked my other account. Wanted to apologize to you for a long time now. I enjoy your videos. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, thank you for saying that. I mean, it just depends on the situation and what the person says. Sometimes I do block people. Other times I don't. It just depends. But yeah, I have a way with people. If you talk to anybody who like specializes in YouTube, they're like, oh, always respond and always be courteous. I don't believe that. You know, coming from a psychology background, like, you know, if someone's a jerk, like, I'm not gonna say something positive and encourage them. You know, and I do generally argue. Like, if I think that I'm correct on something, like, I will. Yeah, no, I'll be like adamant. I'm like, okay, like, no, I'm listening to your point, but I don't see it. I do still think I'm correct here. So, yeah, it's possible. I mean, but, you know, thank you for saying that. And, I mean, yeah, you're welcome to keep commenting on this account or coming into live streams and stuff and talking to us. That's the only thing. Just like, yeah, I just don't want people to be a jerk to me or anything like that. I'm pretty quick to cut people off when they're like that. So yeah, with it being years ago, I'm sure I don't remember what it even was. But yeah, but no, that's cool. And it looks like, well, we still got 12 people here. That's a lot more than I expected. Looks like everybody's just waiting around to the end. But all right, guys, I think I am gonna cut it off here pretty soon. Just know that next month I am gonna be a little slow on stuff just because I'm gonna be in the process of moving, and I don't even know what dates I'm moving yet. But with this job going through May of next year, that gives me a whole extension to continue doing this basically full time. And once I get more stabilized down there and get everything with the girlfriend squared away, I should have more time to focus on things and be able to focus just on the channel and stuff. So hopefully we'll get this growing. We'll get this to be more of a part of my income I have no idea what that noise was. All right. Thank you, Colors of Avon. And it wasn't anything awful. I think you were just fed up with some of the other comments people had made. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, I definitely do get that way. You know, it's weird. I don't get very negative comments anymore, but I used to get so many of them, like so many. I'm not complaining that I don't anymore, but it just, the majority of them used to be awful. So I don't know what happened with that, but fortunately I don't have to deal with that too much anymore. I'll get one occasionally, but I wouldn't even say I get one a month anymore. But anyway, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Thank you guys for joining today. We've been up for a couple of hours now. And thank you again to Jennifer and to Ash Adventures for their super chats. That is very much appreciated. And I will see you guys next week around the same time. We'll do this again. And in the meantime, you should have a couple videos up from me. So I will see you guys then. And if any of you are watching this back after it's re-uploaded, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will try to answer them in next week's live stream if you're not able to attend. All right? All right, it doesn't look like there's any more comments, so I will see you guys next week then.